Hi, this video is on the easy way to record and post classroom lessons. The way I'm going to show you today is the way that we started with several years ago when we started recording classes. It does not include you in any way, shape, or form like this one does. It is the way to get started on recording, and it's still the way many teachers do it. Many teachers don't have cameras that show themselves in the classroom, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So let's get started. First of all, you're going to use these two shortcuts right here on your desktop. You got one that says sound and one that says recorder. The sound one we are going to use just to check to make sure that our microphone is working before we record. I do this every once in a while. The worst thing to happen is to record a whole class and all of a sudden realize there's no audio and you wasted a whole bunch of your time. It is a bummer. So if you click on this sound on your desktop, you'll open the control panel sound, and when it opens up, it has a couple tabs. The first one shows what speakers are active. The second one shows what microphone is active. Now, I happen to have several microphones because I need them to do what I'm doing right now. You will most likely only have one that says it is a snowflake or snowball microphone, depending on what you have. But there should be a microphone checked. And when you're talking, you should see some kind of green popping up and down. If your snowball or snowflake doesn't show up at all, it may have come disconnected. And if it's not the one with the green check mark, which is the one that it's going to record from, that's the default mic, you need to right click on it and say, I'll do it this one, say set as default device. I can't do that on this one because it already is the default device. Now the next thing is, if you're not seeing green and it is checked, I would double click on it and go to levels and pull your level all the way up to 100% like I have. That means that it's going to try to pick up 100% of everything. Now, if that ends up being too loud, you can always turn it back, but I always recommend starting at 100% to make sure that you're getting picked up and you see that green bar bouncing up and down. Okay, I do that every once in a while for frustration purposes to make sure that I'm being recorded. Now, the next thing we're going to do is open Smart Recorder, which should be on everyone's desktop. And I'm going to go ahead and open up that. Now, when we open up Smart Recorder, it is very simple. It's got three buttons. It's got a record, a pause, and a stop button. And that's it. Now, one time and one time only on a computer, you need to set two things. We go to Menu and Options, and again, you never have to check this again unless your computer is wiped, and you go to Video Format, and it is by default in the wrong format. You want to change it to Smart Recorder Video. If you don't, it will take forever to save your files and you will be unhappy. Change it to Smart Recorder Video. The next thing you want to do is go to your target files and set where it's going. I think by default it goes to documents or something. If you just hit browse and you look in your computer for videos, that's probably the best place. I have a subfolder called recorded video, and that's where mine go when I record. And you say, okay, you'll never have to do that again. Now, if I hit record, I'm going to go ahead and move this over here. If I hit record, it's going to record everything I see and do on my desktop, along with the audio. Now, here's the thing. That means you have to be using your digital whiteboard. I have to use my Mimeo board, my smart board, whatever digital whiteboard you have in your class in order for the students to see what you're doing. You can't write on a whiteboard, you can't write on a chalkboard and record this and think they're going to get anything other than a silly looking computer screen with some audio in the background. So that's a requirement. Now, I have this is my chapter 1, and in my chapter 1, I already have them pre-set up on what I talk about in this class. I have chapters for each one of my books that I've made. I've been teaching the course for 18 years, so I have chapters already set up. So when I go and start chapter 2, I can just go there and say, oh, I updated this last in 2021, and I'm going to go ahead and open up that one. Anyway. So I use my Smart Notebook. You can use Mimeo Notebook, whatever you particularly use. So once I have my students up and in my class, I just hit record. Now, because I have two displays, it says which one do you want to use, And number 1 is the right one. I just leave it on that and say okay. And now it's recording the audio and whatever is on this screen that I do. And as I move them forward, as I stop and I write on them, as I pull pictures in, whatever I do is being recorded, the video along with the audio. Now, these are the buttons. Pause. If I hit pause, then the record button shows up to unpause it. I used to do one long video and just pause it in between the activities, so no one had to watch the classroom do nothing and just have that on the screen. I now frequently stop and make smaller videos to post inside my Moodle class. It all depends on what you want to do. If you're just trying to record your whole class for the student who missed, for intervention activities, if you don't want to edit and chop it up using video software, you need to stop it. But if you are just going to post it on your class calendar, so students that missed it, which I also do, then that's your choice. You can either stop in between or you can pause and then restart when you start teaching again, however you want to do it. When you're done, oh, by the way, you can minimize this. It goes away and nobody knows you're recording, and then you can see it down here at the bottom, and when you're ready to stop, you come up here and hit stop. You have to stop your video for it to save. If you just walk away from your class with it recording, you didn't save anything, at some point you have to hit stop. And when you do, it says, hey, it automatically date and time stamps it July 25th at 10:24. It's saving this file. You just hit save and that file then is saved. It always comes up and says, hey, do you want to listen to it or watch it right now? You can just say okay or no, but if you want to just test to see how things work, you can hit play recording, and then that will come up. Recording the audio and whatever is on this screen that you can see what that video looks like there. That's it. That's all it takes. Again, one time, I check my sound actually frequently to make sure that I got audio, because I do plug in a headset and then the wrong one will be recording. So if you never make changes, if you've never plugged in a headset, you don't have to worry about rechecking that. One time I have to set those options, but once I'm done with it, I just open it up, hit record, say that display is okay, and then boom, there it goes. And I stop when I'm done. I'm not gonna save this one. That's it. So I've got a recorded video. What do I do with it now? So we don't save all those. In fact, I frequently go in and delete them. But what do I do with them? So first of all, I'm on my Gmail, and I go to the little square over here, and I'm going to go to my Classroom YouTube channel. This is the channel for hardware. Right here is I know that's my icon for my hardware class. How do I use this video now? First of all, I'm going to upload it. So this little plus button here says create. When I click on that, I have the option to upload the video. I can either drag and drop the file right there or just click on it. And when I click on it, it always goes to the last place I did video, and there it is, that July 25th, 10:24. I double click on that and it's going to upload the video. The upload will take, depending on how long it is, you saw it's doing it right now, it's probably almost done, between 10 seconds to a minute. But you don't have to wait on it to upload. You can just continue on. So I can say, and name this file. And then while I'm here, there's the link that it's going to be. I put my mouse on there and I center click, which opens it. Oh my gosh, or right click, open link in new tab, there it goes. Opens it in a new tab because I'm going to use that later. If you have playlists, this is when you can select playlists. I've got playlists for my different subjects. I don't have to select a playlist. Go down and say next. My camera's in the way there. And then I say next again. And I say next again. And this is where the visibility is important. I always have my classroom visibility set to unlisted. Unlisted means no one can search for and find your video on YouTube. It's not there for everyone else to see. It means they have to have the link to watch it, which means the only way to watch any of my videos is if you're in my Moodle class Well, that's it. You got to be in my Moodle class to see my video. So I leave it as unlisted, and I hit save, and now it's doing all the stuff for the video, and I can go ahead and hit close. Over here is that video already ready, but it doesn't have to be. Right now on a long, if it was a 40-minute video, it would still be doing its thinking thing, but it doesn't matter. This link is already ready for me to use. So I clicked up there in the URL, the web address, and I then hit Control-C to copy that address. You could also right-click and say copy. You can see that's Control-C. So I've got that copied. Now, I'm going to go to my Moodle class. And wrong Moodle class. I'm going to my hardware class. There we go. And I have things that I can do with that video. Now, I put every single full recorded class right in my class calendar. If we went back to when my class was going on, you can see a bunch of places that I have things in there, and those may be the actual recorded video of the class, like you see right here, the recorded video of the class. The way you do that is really simple. That URL that I've copied right here, I can put into any Moodle text box anywhere, in any activity, any resource, any calendar item, and it will just embed it as a YouTube video. So I'm going to go to the calendar for today, and I'm going to say new event. And I'm going to name it, because of the red asterisk, we know that I have to fill that as smart recording. Now, there is no big text box here. Where does that go? I have to hit show more to see the Moodle text box. And this is what I'm talking about when I say a Moodle text box. It shows up like that. And I'm going to hit Control-V to paste that link that I copied in there. And I'm done. I hit save. And now it shows up on my calendar. And if I click on it, it's embedded with that YouTube video right there. If you were in my class, you would see it now show up over there. And if I click on it, it just shows right there. There's that embedded YouTube video. So my students have every single class recorded, and they know that if they miss class, that's where they go to find out what I taught that day. Now, I did say I keep little tiny snippets of them, and I do that because in my class, I have embedded lots of quizzes. And in my quizzes, it shows what is going on with my link there? I'm going to have to fix that because my link is going wrong. I'll just show you how to do it. So if I go and make any activity, it doesn't matter what the activity is, I'll make an assignment. Anywhere I see this Moodle text box, I can insert that video into. So I can make videos of instruction that go along with specific readings, specific assignments, and just put them right in there. I'm going to just put gobbledygook up here. And then when my student sees that link and they click on it, the YouTube video is just embedded right in there. So I can do it for instruction, I can do it for quizzes, I can do it for assignments. Whatever I have the video just embedded right in there, and all it does is take me copying this address and plopping it into wherever I want to see it in Moodle. That's it. I realize I went a little long. The act of recording is extremely simple. Where you put it once you upload it into YouTube is up to your imagination. And as far as YouTube goes, if you haven't made a YouTube channel, I have a whole video on how to set up your YouTube channel and make all those things that I had automatically selected your defaults so that you don't have to pick them every time and you don't have to miss, did I make it unlisted? That's part of setting up your YouTube channel, the subject of an entirely different video. Hopefully that helps people get started on recording their classroom sessions.